Hello, this is Richard. This is Games Freezer. Today, my friends, we're back. We're back again with another 10-minute taster. And today we are looking at a game that I've never played before, and it's called The PAL Beyond. It's on PC. So, what is it? Well, I think it's a survival sim game. So, we're going to get starting now with a new game. It's a nautical themed game, where I think you take the role as the captain of a ship, because the ship's captain's actually gone missing. So let's start a new expedition and let's see how we go. Oh, the air bees cold. Oh, the air bees cold, of flake and white, as a sailor begs their pledge. To the ice they'll pray that leads reveal. Out in the ice they'll stake a claim, that in the dark they'll brace themselves. To the ice they'll pray that leads reveal some charted course ahead. To the souls around of glory found and forged in frost, so that their tale be spread. A hunger draws the desperate here. Such lonely souls need led. What will ye do when still hearts break and courage does abscond? I'll lead these souls, so help the gods. I'll do what must be done indeed. I'll learn to live a life out there. I'll lead these souls, so help the gods. Out of the PAL Beyond. There you go. Bit of poetry to start with. Now let's begin the journey. So I'm assuming that's setting some kind of parameters in the background as to what type of captain I am, I suppose. Able-bodied, crew wanted for dangerous expedition, months of darkness, low wages, slim chance for safe return, glory to be had in the event of success. You are alone in the office. The tea in your hand was long since gone cold. It's perfectly adequate. It's perfectly adequate. Looking around the room, you can make out a collection of military books. On the desk is a ship in a bottle. A metronome ticks away steadily. I find it rather calming. The dedicated rhythm soothes the senses. It stops. You hear footsteps climbing the stairs that brought you here. The door behind you swings open. The captain bounds past you to the other side of the desk. Captain, do you have all of your teeth? I'll open my mouth. You bare your teeth to the man. The captain, good. Can never be too careful. The captain sits down. It's the little things that you can lose people to. I've not had scurvy before. If that's what you're asking. There's more things to worry about than just scurvy. How many people have died under your supervision? None. Meaning you're either perfect for the job, a liar, or you've never been in command. Which is it? The latter. So I'm sure by the looks of it. Really? Command tests a person's mettle. Do you think you're ready? I'll have to be. Please, take a seat. Sit down. The chair is uncomfortably large. The seat feels worn. Oh. I'm Captain Hunt. The pleasure is mine. Robin Shaw. On your desk, which ship is that? The pleasure is mine, Robin Shaw. He nods. On your desk, which ship is that? Ah, this. Detailed, isn't she? Incredibly. An old sailor superstition. I hope you weren't waiting too long. It's fine. There's been a lot of candidates. Some good, some bad. Interesting mix. I'm sure you understand the need for discretion. The advert said there was glory to be had. It all seems a bit convoluted for a sailing job. Keep listening. Yeah, keep listening. Months of darkness, low wages, slim chances of a safe return. That didn't deter you, did it? Quite the opposite. It's why I'm here. Good work is hard to come by these days. It's to be expected, surely. There we go. Good work. Hard to come by these days. Indeed. A venture like this, however, it's more than just money, isn't it? I have a few questions. First, he looks down at his list of questions. Were you born a landlubber or a sea dog? Mixed. Saltborn in the ocean, the same as yourself. I'm from the sea. Let's go ocean. The ocean, the same as yourself. I'm saltborn and bred. Military experience. Colonial Royal Admiralty. Merchant. Sailed the merchant lines for 12 years. Criminal. Only evading them. Let's go criminal. Only evading them. Ha! Honesty is good. So, you've skirted the law before then? Is that a problem? Everyone I hired had a clean record. I wouldn't have a crew at all. Have you ever fired a weapon? Yes. Have you ever killed a man? No. You're not married, are you? Happily. And you're sure they're fine with you leaving for this long? We need the money. I understand. However, one must believe they'll return to justify leaving any family in the first place. Yours is counting on that. So, where are we headed? We're here to find the ship in that bottle. The Viscount. Heard of it? No, enlighten me. He clears his throat. 5 years ago, she set sail on a research expedition towards the Dead Peninsula. They were trying to find and study the absolute magnetic south. Viscount, strange name for a ship. Did they? Did they what? Did they find it? Magnetic south. Did they complete their research? Oh yes, I've no idea. She never came back. Her last known location was 200 miles south of land. Presumed lost to ice. 5 years is a bit later for a rescue operation. They're probably dead. This is beginning to sound like a suicide mission, and we're supposed to be chasing this ship. Okay, 5 years. They're probably dead. Alive or not, their research is supposedly of extreme importance. And we're supposed to be chasing that research. I'm going to need more than rumours about lost ships if I'm putting my life at risk. Alright, you have my attention. Here's what we know. Not one person or thing has been heard from the Viscount since it's first left port. So we're chasing ghosts then? Maybe it's a myth, maybe it isn't. I can assure you the money is real. Those with more money than sense want that old ship. That's the job. If I don't pick the first mate, somebody else will. And, well, my judge of character's gotten me this far. What of our crew? Quite the mix. A work in progress. Some I've known for years. They get in on trust and experience. Others, well, they interview. You don't have a full crew already? Any impressed you? How large is this crew? How large? And how large is this crew? As I said, a work in progress. I'd estimate over 20 when all is settled. We do have transport though. We'll be travelling on board the Temperance. She's a beauty. Greenwood. Generational. Not many like it left these days. The Viscount and the Temperance. They're sister ships. Built together. Sent out into this world to die alone. Poetic. Indeed, I like to think one calls out for the other. The captain looks at the bottled ship. So, what do you think? It's worth it if there's any chance anyone's alive. Sounds like you'll need all the help you can get. Sounds like you'll need all the help you can get. We will. The captain checks his watch. Anyway, I think I've heard enough. The captain stands up. We leave in a month. Welcome aboard, Shaw. Proverbially speaking. So I have the job. What do you think? I'll see you on the Temperance. I've got a good feeling about you, Shaw. Thank you, Captain. Captain makes his way to the door and you follow. There you go. I've had my interview. I'm aboard the ship. You arrive at the docks a month to the day. Before you lies a ship. The letters on its side read Temperance. Approach the Temperance. You walk the cobble to the boarding ramp. Beside is a sharply dressed man overseeing the loading of cargo. Speak to the man. He turns to you with a stern expression. You can feel his eyes assessing you. Saltborn. He's quick to inspect you for ink. Another sailor for the fold, mid-deck with the others. I'm Robin Shaw. Ah, of course, that would make you the captain's choice for first mate, correct? I'm Mr. Templeton. I shall be operating as the chief science officer on this expedition. I'm also the incumbent representative of our benefactor. Do, however, consider myself and my team at you and the captain's disposal. Mr. Templeton, I look forward to working together. I expect you to be up to the task. Some of the layabouts Hunt hired are questionable at best. No doubt I needn't inform you of your duties. You're second only to Captain Hunt himself, though I must warn you that you have quite the task ahead. The rabble I've spent the afternoon sorting are the same that you'll have to whip into shape. Punctuality, schedule, a strict adherence is what we need if this expedition is to succeed. I expect you to be organised. You would not have been assigned the role otherwise. I likely have more in common with the crew than I do myself, Mr. Templeton. I doubt there will be much issue. You speak like you're in charge. I likely have more in common with the crew, Mr. Templeton. That would come as no small surprise. No offence was meant, Officer Shaw. Board when you're ready. And when you find yourself needing a scientist, we can try this again. Okay, so what am I doing here? A young man, the city, the Temperance. Let's have a chat with this geezer here. A young man stands at the ramp, steeling himself for the journey ahead. Hesitantly, he begins to drag his feet up the ramp and onto the ship. So he's on. The Temperance. Hunt's description of the ship was accurate. Near identical to the Viscount, bearing some modern additions. Set sail. I don't want to go back to the city, do I? I just want to set sail. So let's do this. Off we go. Onto the seas. What lays ahead? Who knows? Week 1. 1 week on the Temperance. Look at us. The Pal Beyond. A nice late title card. Everyone enjoys those. Gets you involved. It's been a month. A hunger draws the desperate here. Such lonely souls need lead. What will you do when still hearts break and courage does abscond? I'll lead this soul, so help the gods out of the Pale Beyond. First mate Shaw. Personal log. It's been 1 month since I signed on, and 1 week since we've set sail aboard the Temperance. I'm told the waters will get warmer as we pass the hemisphere before they turn colder. Captain Hunt. Captain Hunt has mostly kept to his quarters so far. I'm not sure what to make of I need to know if I can trust Captain Hunt. I'm not sure what to make of our leader. I trust Captain Hunt. The captain seems a trustworthy sort. Experience alone justifies his position. There aren't many who make it out the other end of naval military service with all their limbs, let alone his vigour. Although he's impulsive, he seems prone to impulsivity. The man's day-to-day decisions feel driven by instinct. I mustn't let my guard down. I do find myself warming to the man. I mustn't let my guard down. Enigmatic indeed. I mustn't let my guard down. The Temperance. I've been on a ship like this before. She's magnificent. A technical marvel, elegant machinery expertly weaved through one of the fastest hardwood ships of its day. Reborn for this mission, breathing again with life, she's simply magnificent. And who's paying for this? I can't help but wonder who's footing the bill for all this. Certainly not the captain. Such exquisite modifications to the ship must have become cheap. It's none of my business. The crew, however, I should investigate further. As for the rest of the crew, there are now 22 of us, including the captain. Our next port will be our last before we enter the ice to pick up the remaining 4 members of the crew, the scouting team. Hunt is also keen to work out a deal on a pack of sledding dogs. I've sailed with worse, and I'm sure there are those who might have considered myself in that same light. One of Hunt's sailors approaches. Joel, cabin, once you're at the helm. I'll head there now. He leaves. Captain's cabin. Who's this? Join Hunt at the helm. It's the forecastle. Crow's nest. Helm. You ascend the stairs to the stern and find the old captain manning the helm of the ship. Ah, Robin, lovely day for it, isn't it? It is indeed, Captain. Indeed. It's days like these I make sure to do my share of the sailing. He winks. Let him continue. He thinks for a moment before stepping aside and stretching out a wrinkled hand. Here, why don't you have a try? You should take advantage of calm waters for once. I imagine you didn't see many in your past line of work. Take the wheel. Are you sure? I really have other duties to attend. Take the wheel. You grip the wheel of the ship and feel the weight of the waves in your arms. Okay. The memory in your muscles rear themselves as you begin to move in time with the ship and the wind. Is there anything I can find out here? No. I'm just panning around. Easy. There you have it. The captain pats you on the back. Fantastic. Now try to get a sense of where we are. Get some perspective. Okay. Peaceful, isn't it? Yeah. What am I zooming in on though? I'm not sure. Panning and zooming speeds can be adjusted in the settings menu. He takes the wheel back from you. I think I'll drink the morning in a little longer. Would you mind preparing my quarters for the day's work? There's much to do. Okay, captain's quarters. Right. A tub, a painting, the desk. Take requests. You take a seat at the end of the room. The captain joins you. Now let's run through our provisions before taking requests. To start, there's 23 souls signed onto this expedition, ourselves included. That's 16 free to be assigned to tasks if they aren't already busy. The rest are deployed to their permanent stations. You are only able to deploy crew who you have discovered. They must be in good health and not otherwise deployed to another post. We'll be picking up the scouting crew at the next port. The lot of us also seem to be in good spirits. The expedition will end, tearing itself apart if you end the week with no decorum left. Right, okay. With enough provisions for at least 6 months in case of emergency. If you cannot afford the minimum food rations at the end of the week, crew will become malnourished even. Unless cured, the malnourished status will develop into scurvy, a severe status effect that prevents crew from working, eventually killing them at the end of the week. And more than enough fuel to see us there and back again. Unless cured, the freezing status will develop into frostbite, a severe status effect that prevents crew from working, eventually killing them at the end of the week. Okay. The sledding dogs, well, they're still a matter of negotiation. Dogs will be needed to send sledding teams out to gather resources on the ice. Sending hunts out further requires a greater amount of dogs. They will rest and become available between the weeks. Now on to work. Who's this? Cordell. Corvid. A sailor enters. We found a stowaway in the lower hold. Bring them in. Another sailor enters, leading a young man by their side. You know, you're not the first stowaway I've had. The captain studies them further. You know where we're heading, don't you? I do, sir. The ice. Did you know that before you climbed inside the crate? I did, sir. Ha! How old are you? You're hardly a useful pair of hands. Not true, I can pull my weight, sir. Do you know your jiboom from your bowsprit? I do. I learned it all from my da. Your da? He's Ward's son. Followed him on board back in the city. What should we do with him, Captain? Well, sure. Hunt eyes you up. Your first mate. What should we do with him? Understandable. It's your decision to make, not mine. I'd keep them aboard. Hunt squints. Why? You need all the help you can get. This young man wants to help. He's clearly here because his father is. It would be wrong to separate them again. We don't have the time to accommodate this. If the boy wants to freeze his death, let him. You need all the help you can get. This young man wants to help. There we go. I'd say we let him. Alright, boy. Consider yourself part of the crew. Be sure to keep your nose clean and follow orders. I will. Thank you, sir. Captain, not sir. Aye, Captain. The stowaway joins the two sailors below deck, now a member of the crew. Well, it seems the litter has a new runt. I hope the rest won't mind sharing their rations. Oh, I see, right. Here we go. What of the father? Simple. Split their pay and their rations. Any rations the boy takes should come from his. I doubt he intended for this to happen. We'll keep an eye on them both. I suppose you're right. Well, that matter's sorted. Cordell. Have you agreed upon my conditions? To the point, eh? Sure, this is Lady Cordell. Cordell here is to provide us with a kennel of hounds for the sleds. And our agreement was that she would train them up until we part ways at the nearest island. But you neglected to inform me that you were bringing my dogs through the Powell Passage. I had no intention of sending the pack to its death. You seem to have good faith in this expedition. It's one thing to ask for my whole kennel, it's another to drag them into the ice to chase a myth. Never before has a buyer been so dishonest. And never before has a seller made such strong demands. You already sold the dogs, did you not? You have no control over them now. And what exactly are these demands? She demands we allow her to come along on the expedition as a member of the crew. None on this ship have experience and familiarity with these dogs that I possess. If you are taking them to such a beautiful, brutal location, they will need me to guide them if they have any chance of survival. The humans on board too, of course. Of course. You can see my dilemma, sure. We've just accepted a stowaway. Bringing on another member of the crew is a risk, but our hands may be tied. Your thoughts? I don't see the harm in having an expert on sled dogs. We should cancel the deal. We can find another buyer. If you're so adamant, we accept your offer. I don't see the harm in having an expert. Okay, there you go. Good point, sure. He turns to her. This deal is already to your benefit. Do you have anyone on board with extensive training in the management and ruling of dogs? Your sleds are useless if you can't control the dogs efficiently enough to haul them. And I would like to ensure my dogs are treated properly. Welcome aboard, Cordell. Your knowledge should prove valuable. Don't expect the crew to waste time taking care of your mutts. I hope you're experienced as you claim, Cordell. Welcome aboard, Cordell. Come on, Cordell. Invaluable. I'll have a room prepared for you. Below deck. No need. You'll find me in the forecastle with the dogs. She leaves. I hope I'm not making a mistake, Shaw. Plus 14 dogs. Finish requests. Can I do anything with that? No. Okay. Finish requests. Right, okay. So that's a bit of the game loop. Now that's all settled, I have one more errand for you to run. Could you grab the Stoke brothers and order them to meet me up deck after dinner? Hefty lads, red hair, you couldn't mistake them for another. An urgent matter, the Stoke brothers. Who are they? Do you require me for this meeting? No. This isn't a matter of the first officer needs to concern themselves with. They'll be down on the middle deck. In the meantime, you should grab a copy of the crew manifest and get acquainted with more of the crew. Let's leave. Join the figure balancing on the mast. Okay, let's go and have a look over here. Upon closer inspection, you make out the ship's photographer, Kasia Belford, balanced on the ship's mast with her camera, lining up a photo. How's the view up there? Oh, you startle the woman, causing her to fall and nearly drop her camera. Help her down. You help her retrieve the device and untangle herself from the rigging. That was a close shave, Officer Shaw. It's about time I met the first officer of this ship. Kasia Belford. Nice to meet you, Kasia. I suppose there was some sort of rule against what I was doing up there. Deepest apologies, but sometimes there's just a shot you cannot pass up. An accomplished photographer, Kasia Belford won the Fentler Prize, the highest honour in journalism, for her work covering plague outbreaks and riots in the capital. It came as a surprise to many that such a reputable journalist would take such an interest in this expedition. There was scarcely any chance of Hunt or the benefactor turning her away. You expected some of her accolades to be older, more experienced. This is likely her first time on the sea like this. Her proof is all we have. Her accomplishments surely outweigh her youth. Inexperience is a matter of interest, but her accolades speak for themselves. The cold game. Picture that as a header. Sounds fine to me. I like it. For the piece on this voyage, I'm trying to come up with a snappy name. Nobody will read it if the title sounds like a work of an amateur. The cold game. Picture that as a header. Kasia places a finger on her chin, squinting her eye in thought. It's not perfect, but it's a work in progress. Plenty of time. We haven't even hit the ice yet. It's just all so exciting already. Well, I suppose you've had your fill of thrills up until now. At least this thrill is within the law. You have that right. I'm not adverse to thrills. Well, I hope we have some coming this way. I'm hoping to capture something right out of Kurt Darling's old escapades. That reminds me, he'll be joining us at the next port. I should get his picture at some point. Kasia holds up her camera with a sense of pride before holding it up to her face. Stand still, Shaw. The captain sent me to grab a copy of the manifest. How long do they take to develop? Only a day or two. I've made a makeshift darkroom in the hold. Speaking of photographs, she hands you an annotated document. Here it is, the crew's manifest. So we've got Timmy Runtwald as a sailor stowaway saltborn, Killian Smurf Sanders, a sailor ice savvy, Amelia Corvid Sparrow, sailor ice savvy, Joseph Joe Gren, sailor ice savvy. Right, okay. Scouts, right, I see across the different specialisms, resource cards, key items, camera, and the accordion. Nice. Right, okay. That sits up there, so I can bring it out whenever I need. Right, all good. Now what? It's a work in progress. The scout team is to join us at the next point. The captain's forbidden me from the boiler room. If you could ask the others to get their portraits taken, I'd be very grateful. Don't want to leave anyone out. See what I could do. Do something like that stunt on the mast again, you'll be removed. Thank you, Kasha. She smiles. I'll not disturb you of your work any further, officer. I have a few more shots I want to get before the sun lowers anyhow. Safe shots, officer. Don't worry. You leave her to her work. Okay, so 2 Johns. I need to get them. Descend below deck. Right, let's go and get 2 Johns. You spot a large man with useful gait carrying a heavy crate over his shoulder with relative ease. Ah, you're Officer Shaw. He gives a bright, warming smile. 2 Johns. That's what they call me. I'm sure you'll get your nickname later. 2 Johns attempts to offer a handshake but loses control of the crate. He struggles before firmly holding it in place with both hands. Maybe later. Work awaits. Right, 1+1 available crew. Okay, 2 Johns. Should now show up on here, right? Where is he? There he is. Sailor Saltborn. Okay. Right. Should I go below deck? Oh, here we go. Look at this. Right. Anything over here to look at? Descend to mid deck. Accordionist, cook. Let's go to the accordionist. One of the crew, a red-headed man with a thick beard, sits proud, playing on an ivory accordion. Accordion. He spots you and ceases in his playing. Accordion player. Need something? Nice accordion. Do you mind if I see it? Accordion player takes a step back as you approach. You can see it from there. No touching. Right. Okay, now I've met the accordion man. I think we're going to call a halt to the 10-minute taster for today. Hopefully it's given you a bit of an indication as to what this game's like and what it's all about. If you've enjoyed the video, please press like. That would be really good. And also subscribe to the channel. We're over at Twitter and Instagram at GamesFreezer. And we're also over at www.gamesfreezer.co.uk. Until next time, my friends, you'll be leaving me chatting to the accordion man. Goodbye.